all things Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
In sweltering heat, former President Trump's first campaign rally since his criminal conviction.
Wow.
Nodding to the guilty verdict.
The people are watching, and they know a fake deal.
But in a speech plagued by teleprompter issues.
I got no teleprompters, and I haven't from the beginning. These people.
Mr. Trump attacking President Biden on immigration, which polls show is one of the most important issues to Americans this election. The former president launching a new push to try to woo Latino voters in Nevada and beyond, blasting the president's executive action, tightening security at the southern border.
It's weak, it's ineffective, it's what he signed.
An expletive echoed by his audience. Those attacks coming even after Mr. Trump pressured Republicans in Congress to vote against a bipartisan immigration bill earlier this year. For his part, President Biden's preparing to head overseas again this week to focus on the international economy at the G7 summit in Italy, just after wrapping a visit to France to commemorate the 80th anniversary of D-Day. His last stop, an American cemetery near Paris, the final resting place of more than 2,000 Marines killed in the First World War.
The idea that I'd come to Normandy and not make the short trip here to pay tribute.
It's the same cemetery Mr. Trump declined to visit in 2018. The White House, at the time, blaming bad weather for canceling the trip. But reports later emerged Mr. Trump blasted the war dead as losers and suckers. Comments later corroborated by his then Chief of Staff, John Kelly, in which the former president denies to this day, like in this post online Sunday. In France, President Biden not mentioning Mr. Trump by name as he saluted the fight for democracy.
America shows up when we need it, just like our allies show for us.
I mean, I don't even understand how it's a tie, and it is. Not that the polls are reliable. They were wrong last year. It feels like they were wrong in 2020. They were wrong in 2016. They're always wrong. They've been wrong. They've been wrong for a really long time, and nobody knows exactly why. Is it that people are too embarrassed to say that they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton, or was it people too embarrassed to say that they were going to vote for Joe Biden, or is it the other way around? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But the polls have been wrong consistently for the last, almost 10 years. So, but they're telling us it's a tie. It's a tie. How could it possibly be a tie when one guy is going to visit his probation? Well, he's not going to visit. I have to stop saying that. If he went to visit his probation officer the way every other convicted felon is required to go visit their probation officer, especially ahead of sentencing, so that a sentencing report can be created and crafted about whether or not this person is worthy of being out on probation, or is this person a drug user, i.e., pee in this cup, please, thank you. Well, on a Zoom call, I'm not aware that you can pee in any cup that can be tested by the probation officer. See, that's a small little detail. It's a small little dilemma that we all find ourselves in, because wouldn't you like to know if Donald Trump uses any illicit drugs? Wouldn't you like to know? I mean, I'm not really interested if he lies and really does take Lipitor. I'm not really interested if he lies and he, takes something for blood pressure. I couldn't care less. By the way, HIPAA, I guess, legal drugs, I don't think we have a right to know. Personally, don't. But what if he's actually like snorting, shooting, smoking something illicit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if he's, I don't know, two of his doctors, one had to address the press, and the other one is now on the Intelligence Committee. What? Yes. You know that they put Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who was demoted from Rear Admiral, which always sounded like a very strange thing to call anybody in this world, let alone an officer in the Navy. But you know that Ronnie Jackson was kicked down from Rear Admiral to Captain, right? Because illicit drug use. And he was the doctor that was vouching for Donald Trump's fitness and health, saying that he was the most fit individual he'd ever seen. I mean, I'm just saying, it's so many lies. You would have to, spend the rest of your days chasing it down. And you know what? It really doesn't matter. The people who he lies to, specifically, they love it. They eat it up. They worship him. In fact, this particular rally that he had in Nevada, which was, I guess it's McCarran Airport. It's the only airport I know in Las Vegas. But I think he was right outside of McCarran Airport in a park, outdoors, in the middle of the summer in Nevada, in a park that has no trees. No shade, you see. And as somebody who lives in a climate of, 1,000 degrees plus, yes, but it's humid here, right? And it's a dry heat there. So here it's like having a hot, wet towel thrown over you, and there it's like being inside of a convection oven. Big difference. This is where he chose to have elderly white men and elderly white women gather to hear him lie. And then when the people started dropping like flies, which happened, he actually said, it's 110 degrees and no one cares about me.
We don't have enough time. And now, by the way, it's 110, but it doesn't feel it to me, right? So we'll stay out here for a little while. If anybody gets tired, you'll let me know. And if anybody goes down, if you start going down, we have people, they'll pick you up right away. They'll throw water. They were so worried. Everybody was so worried yesterday about you. And they never mentioned me. I'm up here sweating like a dog. Secret Service said, we have to make sure everyone's safe. I said, what about me? Oh, we never thought of that. They don't think about me. I'm working my ass off. I'm working hard.
You're not working hard because if that was hard work, you wouldn't do it. That's number one. Number two, what is it about him that only makes him think of himself even when he sees people dropping from heat exhaustion? What makes him think only about himself?
Show me any cult where it's not all about the leader at the expense of the cult members.
I mean, this is some sick stuff. And you know what the cult members said when they were interviewed by the press about this? About why would he have a rally? I mean, you're talking, this is Las Vegas, okay? Las Vegas has an enormous amount of convention space, okay? It's got an incredible amount of ballroom space, stages, theaters, indoor space. He owns a hotel there. What in the hell made him cheese out, and have this outdoors during the day in a park with no trees? And then when the people start to faint or fall down or need medical attention, he thinks about only himself. So they asked the cult leaders about this, and you know what's the cult members, and you know what they said? This shows you we will walk through hell for him. What? Yeah, that was their response. We will walk through hell for him. America, we're going to go through some deprogramming things. We're going to have to. Because when he loses, you're going to have go through some things. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.